Hello and welcome back to another unboxing review of the broken Meeple. Now I'm going to say a slight disclaimer now that a lot of people have commented that the volume in my videos is quite low. The main reason for this is because I don't live in a soundproof booth. I live in a flat where outside noise can be picked up. Now things are improved with the shotgun microphone on my camcorder, however I am experimenting with volume levels to see if I can get it to be more clearer and loud without picking up too much background noise that would spoil the content of these reviews. So I have turned the microphone level in the camcorder up to a fairly highish point now compared to usual, and I've set the Rode stereo microphone to normal level as per before. If I set it up to any higher, then it will pick up everything and my voice will sound like a giant bass machine. So let's see how it runs for now, but let's just put it this way, you have been warned. Now, Chaos in the Old World. A friend of mine has shown me this game, to which we had a great 5-player game with the expansion, me playing the gods of Zenich, Tidijit, or whatever you want to pronounce it as. I'm sure I have no idea how to pronounce that Chaos God name. But effectively, this is almost sort of half Euro, half Ameritrash. You take the control of a Chaos God, and you have to control areas of the board, fighting off the minions of the other gods, corrupting the lands of man, whilst effectively trying to gain dominance. You know, the Chaos Gods don't get along. You want to be the head cheese of the gang, and you've got your particular god's special powers and cards and minions with their own special powers to fight each other off. The game is really good. I mean, this is a contender for my top 20 easily. Could it make my top 10? Who knows? But this is a very good asymmetrical half Euro, half Ameritrash game, and it just works so well. So what I've got here is my new addition to my collection, obviously, because as soon as I played it, I knew I wanted it. And you might recognize the original box just had a black cover with the Chaos in the Old World letters and a big symbol. Well, this is the second edition. There's not much difference. I believe there's barely any difference at all between the two versions. Maybe some rule clarifications, that's it. But it does come with this really sweet Nurgle cover. I wish they'd done the cover for each god just for collector's OCD sake. But, oh well, I suppose that's not a bad thing. It does look cool. So let's have a look inside. Ooh. Standard issue Fantasy Flight. Yes, Fantasy Flight catalogue. Comes with every box. Collect the whole set. Yeah, we don't need that. Rules of play. Now, the rulebook itself. Bear in mind, I'm having to read this upside down, but the rulebook's very decorative. It looks like it's quite a lot of text to read, but it's set out very nicely. You've got all the cool artwork that is typical of anything related to Warhammer. Combat examples, corruption phases. I would have liked there to be more pictures maybe to show off some of this stuff, but the game is not that complicated, so it's one that is not going to be a difficult game. It's certainly not pick up and play, but this is interesting. This is very good. I did not know the book had this. Apparently there are strategies and guidelines for how to play each god, because they all have their different tactics. You know, Khorne wants to beat everything up. Nurgle wants to spread decay everywhere and corrupt the whole land quicker. Zenich has got loads of really cool sort of magic cards that mess around with people. And Sinesh, I'm not entirely certain what their shtick is. It's all more like seduction, and it's kind of weird. I don't really know much about that god. I didn't really look at much with them in Warhammer Fantasy when I used to play it, and nobody actually played them back. I don't think I actually played Warhammer Chaos apart from Khorne and borrowing somebody else's Zenich form horse as well. So Sinesh is basically, I think they're more a flexible force, that sort of thing. The Horned Rat Skaven expansion gives you the Skaven race, but they are not in this box, and I'm not going to do an unboxing for that because it's just a small little box. But basically it gives you an ability to have the 5th player, the Skaven, gets you some more cards and some more figures, and that's about it really. So, okay, first up we've got each person's player board. Each person will have their own, will have their own unique player board. There you are, see, so that one I believe is the Khorne one. And I believe we're going on to, yes, Nurgle for green, blue for Zenich, and purple for, or purple or pink, whichever way you want to put it really, for us on each. Now on each of these boards there are descriptions of the various minions that you can summon. So you've got the cultish, you've got the kind of like horrors, basically your unique demon that you can summon, and you've got your elder god's avatar effectively that you can summon, like the bloodletter from Khorne, the Lord of Change, that kind of thing, you know, the big nasties. But these do a very good job of telling you about your starting setup and how to play the game. It's got rule explanations, it's got the token iconography descriptions there. It's a very useful guide. You should never be without it. They do a good job. Not to mention, they also have the cool artwork on the back. I mean, that is one thing about this game. This game looks the business. No surprise, it is Fantasy Flight after all. What do you expect? I sound like a Fantasy Flight fanboy, but to be honest, yes, Fantasy Flight do have bad games as well. But one thing that Fantasy Flight know how to do is make their games look gorgeous. You got to admit that. So here, we've got lots of the various tokens that represent corruption across the land. So hopefully you can see the red ones okay there with the slight light reflecting. You got the green Nurgles, the Slanesh and the Tzeentch. I'm going to apologise now that I don't know how to pronounce these Chaos God names, so please don't comment on that. You know, if you know how to pronounce them, then hopefully I'll meet you at some point in my life playing games and you can correct me on that. But for now, I'm just going to pronounce them how I see fit, even if it's wrong. Going on the back, again, more tokens and victory point things. However, these 4 dials are the main focus here. There's a couple of ways to win. You can either get as much victory points as you can, which is achieved by dominance over the board, or you can advance these dials, which as you advance them, they give you little bonuses, extra victory points, that kind of thing. And if you get your dial all the way to the end, then you automatically win. The cool thing with these dials is that they're not the same. Some of them have got abilities in different orders, and some of them are even longer or shorter than others. You know, I don't know specifically which ones, but certain gods take less time to get through their dial because it's harder to do so. It's a very asymmetrical game, but it does a great job of it. Right, okay, I've now got the shrink wrap to deal with on this board, so bear with me 1 second. Okay, let's talk about the board. Now, first off, the back side of it, the dials normally go on here to show you the, obviously to cover things up, but if I just show you there, you can see, yep, you can see the various type of bonuses that you get on the dial for a Nurgle there, for example, and Khorne there. You know, they all vary between themselves. But I don't want you to cheat by looking at that. Let's show you what is got to be one of the nicest looking boards that I have seen in a long time. The question is, can I unfold it in such a way that you'll be able to see on the video? Right, I'm going to have to come around to the camcorder and help you out here. And now we have the board. Look at that board. Look at it. It is basically what is supposed to be a layer of human skin stretched with the drawings on it. I mean, this is a very dark theme. I'm going to warn you of that now, but it's just such a great theme. I mean, look at it. Look at the artistry on that. Each of these territories that you can see is separated by a giant red line, and they've got those little, you can see those little pointy bits there and there that represent basically going from one territory to the next. But you've got places that you might recognise, like Bretonia there, Stalia, and various other little ones down here, the border princes you can see, the empire, and basically what happens is that your minions will go on these spaces fending off everybody else's, trying to get the most influence. The spaces that you can see next to the name, if I show you Bretonia for example, sorry for the motion sickness, you can see that there are 2 spaces here where you will place cards, chaos cards, that you have for each person, and with those cards you can activate special powers, cast spells, that kind of thing, and do stuff to generally hinder your opponent and boost your own. But the board itself is just phenomenally gorgeous, and when you get all the minions on here, it looks even better. Speaking of the minions, let's get onto those. Okay, let's get on to the rest of the box. Let's have a look at the cards first. Okay, Chaos cards, very nice sort of linen finish style cards, so these will take a bit of wear and tear, but if you're like me, you're going to get OCD and sleeve these anyway, so it's no big of a deal there. But you've got the various minions that you can summon. Oops, see if that a bit light there. So there's the the Bloodthirster, for example. The big guy, you've got attack, defense, and cost values there. A little bit of fluff text, and a little, essentially, an ability for each. And every Chaos God has got these. I mean, you've got the Nurgle ones here, for example. You've got, there you go, Slaanesh one there. And somewhere, here we go, a Zenith one. They've all got their unique artwork on them and look really gorgeous to boot. As well as that, we've got a few scoring cards for when regions get so corrupted that they effectively fall to waste and you score them. And then on top of that, you've got these fairly funky looking I call them event cards, I forget their actual name, but they essentially are things that happen during the game via the old world that might hinder everybody's progress. You know, it's a global effect that goes off. But these cards are very nice. However, I warn you, these don't fit standard Magic the Gathering style sleeves. So you are going to need to get, I think if you're getting Mayfair ones, I believe they're, or Mayday ones, sorry, I think they are the Chimera ones. And I think you will need the big and the small ones because you got these as well. Now, whether you want to sleeve these little ones, I don't know. I mean, it's tempting not to sleeve any of this because these are very good condition cards. And to be fair, there is a lot of these little ones, and do you really want to sleeve little cards? I don't know. I might do because I'm effectively an OCD like that, but it's up to you. Now these cards, you got the Khorne logo for that one. You've got the Slaanesh one, so they've all got their little logo. And what these represent are the spells that you can cast on spaces. Now, do you remember those two spaces I pointed out next to each territory? This is what you put on them. So they represent your hall, how much cost they have, and a special ability that goes off. It's almost a bit like worker placement. You're placing the card down, and if you place your card down, nobody else can put it there. So there's an element of worker placement in this game, even if it is mostly area control. However, let's get on to the highlight. There you go, there's some dice. Lovely little dice. See? Amazing. You didn't come here to look at dice. Here we go. Some lovely... Take the box out of the way actually for the moment. Look at these lovely minions here. These are all... I mean, there's obviously a whole bag full of these things, but these are... It's plastic lust, basically. You've got all these little minions for... Unfortunately, they are colour-coded by your god, so if you want to paint them properly, then, well, do that, but I'm not a painter, so I probably won't be. But you've got the various minions themselves, so if I can show you up there a little bit. There you go, you've got a cultist. Maybe I'll show you a different colour, actually. Let's try the blue ones. There you go. See, cultist holding up your little symbols there. Granted, that one is a little bit bent. It is fairly sort of flexible plastic. It's not the strongest plastic in the world, and you are going to notice that these cultist shields, these like totem pole things that they carry around, do get bent. It's a side effect, but it's nothing major. However, that pales in comparison when you've got things like... Oh God, no dropping them already. When you've got things like the Bloodthirster. Here we go. See, there's the big cheese himself with a giant axe. You've got the Plague Bearers for Nurgle, so they're essentially like the middle guys for the Nurgle team. I forget what they're called, but to be honest, I don't think you care what they call, because let's face it, if you see something like that coming towards you, you're going to run anyway. And I wonder if I've got any other examples here. Yes, I've got the Horrors. This is what I used in my first game to great effect. Look at that. Yeah! Nasty guys. And as I like to call him, the big chicken, the head chicken himself, the Lord of Change. I am a giant chicken, there is no other way of putting it really. So you get all these cool little minis, and when you've got these on the board, it looks great along with the rest of the board. Granted, it would be nice if they were painted, but come on, you can only ask for so much without bumping the price up to stupid levels of money. So let's grab those out of the way first and bring back the lid, I suppose, because that's it. That's it. Get out of the way, bag. You're screwing up the shot. Chaos in the old world. That's what you get in the box. Lots of cool looking stuff, a great looking board, a fantastic box cover, particularly if it's a second edition version like this one. It just looks great. It's a thumbs up from Fantasy Flight in terms of component quality, but, well, is the game any good? You're going to have to, well, obviously I've been telling you it's a great game, but I'll give you more details when it eventually gets a review in the future. So that's it from me for now. I'm going to get on with the next unboxing review, which is the Alien Frontiers 4th edition, and I'll catch you later at that time. See you later.